you stand by that, Cass? Do you think Casemiro has been the best signing this season for in the Premier League?
Yeah, and I've had so many people go in on me on that. Yeah, Zinchenko doesn't exist. Like, what are you talking about? Yeah, this guy has come in and literally changed Man United's whole team. Yeah, like when he's in the team, you look so much better. Like people can mention Haaland and all of that. Yeah, cool. Haaland can score 1 billion goals. He might not even win the league this season. Yeah, Casemiro's come in with an elite mentality. He's left the biggest club on the planet in his comfort zone where he could have carried on winning and winning and winning. Yeah, and he's gone to Man United, who ain't won a trophy for 6 years. And as soon as he's walked in there, all of a sudden you've won a trophy. It's not rocket science, is it? Yeah, the game's about winning trophies, and he's walked in there totally like rejuvenated Man United. Your midfield looks solid now. Yeah, you look like you've got a system in place, and and it's no coincidence that you're playing better since he's got there. And you didn't have him for the first couple of games where you got battered. You signed him, and you've been pretty relentless ever since. Let's be real with it. And I think, listen, people are sitting moaning about it. I don't care. Yeah, at the end of the day, he is easily the best DM in the world. That ain't even debatable for me.
I think, listen, he certainly is. Someone said yesterday on the show that United aren't at the level of City and Arsenal, and not in the Champions League. So therefore, Casemiro's performances can't have him labelled as the best DM in the world. My kind of rebuttal to that is, if a lot of people still think Messi's the best player in the world. Does that mean if he joined Man United this summer, done what he's done throughout his whole career, delivered what he's done for his country still, and performed brilliantly for Man United, he suddenly wouldn't be the best player in the world? It's a nonsense. Casemiro was so disrespected when he arrived in the Prem. Let's think about what Graham Souness said. You know, steady Eddie, not world class, not that good. These pundits have egg on their face, and there's a lot of United players that deserve credit for us being third in the league, being deep in the FA Cup, knocking out Barcelona. There's a lot of players winning the Carabao Cup, but Casemiro, for me, he is the standout player, not just for his ability in the DM role, protecting our backline, solidifying the midfield. It's those leadership abilities. And he said, this is a fact. He spoke to Man United the day after the Brentford humiliation, because the deal was almost done at that point, and said, let's get this done. I will fix this team. He looked at it very much as they need a player like me in that middle. And I've seen the salt, and I've seen the anger that, well, he's 30 years old, 31 years old. In 3 or 4 years, you'll need a replacement. Why are you celebrating? Because I'm celebrating the here and now. I'm not going to, imagine not celebrating, winning a trophy, and your team progressing, because in 4 years' time, Casemiro might not be at his best anymore. I'm pretty sure we'll find a replacement in that time. But meanwhile, I'm going to enjoy it. It's a bit like saying once a player hits 30, you can't enjoy them anymore because their career is coming to an end soon. It's terrible logic. I do agree. I think so far, I would put him down as a signing of the season. I say so far because there's still multiple trophies to win, and there could be other players in the next 2.5, 3 months that step up, you know, and let's just say Gabriel Jesus returns and just scores 15 goals between now and the end of the season. You win the Europa League, you win the Premier League. That'll be a shout. But Casemiro so far, I don't think anybody has been better than him. I think it's an absolute great shout. And it's part of the reason that Man United are back to winning. And I think United winning trophies, it should be sending fear out to rivals in the same way as Arsenal returning to almost to their very, very best. It should make rivals very, very fearful indeed. And they are fearful. Danny Murphy admitted it today on TalkSport. He said, as a Liverpool man, he said, I'm completely and utterly worried about this return. This here says, Terrace, we'll come back to Arsenal. I'll come back to your Arsenal comment a little bit later, my friend, and I'll explain the title of this to you. Lee's just dropped off, maybe some connection issues. We'll be back in a minute. Casemiro would walk into the Chelsea team and instantly improve it. He would improve every team in the Premier League. There's no shadow of a doubt. He really, really wouldn't. My edit made it onto the football Terrace. Big up Terry and Lee Gunner. What's your edit, bro? I want to know what your edit is. Let me know what your edit is, and we'll credit it. I didn't know if it was yours. I'm sorry if I never try to take things from people. Let me know what that is, brother, and we'll give you that credit. Lee's back with us now. But there we go. A spacebar. When I say fearful, yes, fearful. Like I don't know why fans pretend they're not scared. When I go away to Man City, when I go away to Arsenal now, when I go this weekend, we play Liverpool. I'm fearful of that place because we don't have a good record there. You know, I'm fearful of good teams. I'm excited about the games, but of course there's a fear. And United are getting back to being scary. And that's why we're seeing bitterness just like this here. Listen to this from Martin Keown.
About Manchester United, and the Man United fans are going to say, "Oh, that's typical Keown, you know, coming here." But let's look at the League Cup.
Yes, I mean, it literally is typical. Let's look at the League Cup.
Let's look who they've beaten. So they beat Burnley at home. They've beaten Charlton at home. They've beaten Forest team, who were kind of like way bottom at the bottom of the table, really not the best of teams. And now they're champions. They've won the Carling Cup. So, Jim, people are now talking about quadruples and all sorts of things. Let's have a look at this in 6 weeks' time.
Well, I mean, that's true. I mean, but this was crazy. I get what he means. Let's look at the quad in 6 weeks' time. United fans are bantering. No Man United fan honestly believes we're winning all four. There's a bit of fun with it. But let's just take a look at what he said about the League Cup. We played Charlton. Charlton knocked out Brighton, who knocked out Arsenal. We played Forest and we played Forest in the semis, who knocked out Tottenham, and we played Newcastle in the final, who knocked out Southampton, who knocked out City. So I'm focusing on those teams because they're the top four as it stands in the Premier League right now. It's not Man United's fault that the quote unquote better teams failed in this tournament. If they hadn't failed, then United maybe wouldn't have had an easy run. But imagine blaming that on us. Like you were saying before we came on, like the way some of the media and modern day fans are like belittling the winning of this trophy. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's mad, mate. Martin Keown's a shambles. Like real talk, he's a shambles. That guy won 3 titles at Arsenal. Yeah, 3 FA Cups. Yeah, he won the Cup Winners' Cup, I think. Like, maybe he's salty because he never won the League Cup. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. Like he's won everything else. He ain't won the League Cup. Maybe he's salty. The fact that he sits on national radio, on the biggest sports radio station out there, and I've said this to you the other week, players will listen to that and go, "Oh, it's only the League Cup." Like he's saying it's only oh yeah, but look who they've beaten. Oh, how comes you never won it then, mate? Like, do you know what I mean? It winds me up because this is not the first time he's come out with stupidness like this. Yeah, he said the other week when we were like 8 points clear at the top of the league. Yeah, but nobody expected us to be there, Jim. You know, our aim's top 4. No, it's not. The aim is not top 4 when you're clear. Yeah, the aim at the start of the season for the football club may or may not have been top 4. Either way, I think that's stupid anyway. But then when you're sitting on national radio and players are driving to training, we know that a lot of the players listen to this channel, yeah, and they're listening to him sitting there going, "Oh, well, Arsenal's aim's top 4. It don't matter." And it's like, I'm sorry, mate. When he's sitting there dismissing a League Cup, yeah, I've seen loads and loads of fans. Oh, look at them. It's a tin pot cup. Well, I'd like to win it. I'd like us to have been in the final. Last time I went to a final with that, we lost to Man City. Yeah, and there was 60, 70, 80,000 fans in the ground. They all cared. And the thing is, people will sit there and say, "Yeah, but it's not a major honour." Okay, well, top 4 ain't either, and I'd rather that over top 4.
Do you know what I think is this? It's weakness. I understand it, but it is the weakness. Any man who is sat on the internet in the last 2 days and has played down the trophy, called it Mickey Mouse, called it Tim Pot, said it's worth nothing, it's worthless. You're just being pathetic. It's as simple and as straightforward as that. I have seen some of these fan channels, some of these content creators, some of these Twitter bots, some of these TikTokers. I've seen them go to these finals at the ground when it's their team in them. It's such a rubbish tournament that they're prepared to spend hundreds of pounds going to a final to watch their team in it. I've seen some of these guys rant when their team was lost in these finals, lost in semi-finals. But now United win it, they come out and say it's a tin pot trophy and it's worthless. I understand why they're doing it. They're playing up to their fan base. You know, if they're Liverpool fans or Arsenal fans, Chelsea, whatever it may be, they're playing up to their fan base to say, "Oh yeah, look, it's nothing. It's Man United. It's crap anyway." But I don't think they realize how pathetic they look as men. As men, you should be ashamed to look your wife in the face. And how could you look at your children? It's embarrassing. And it's almost this element of kind of keep your powder dry. It's sort of trying to win every battle every 5 minutes. And it's laughable by the media. We kind of know why they're doing it. The media will echo what fans say. So they're like, right, TalkSport and Sky Sports will go, right, there's big Arsenal fans and big Liverpool fans calling it a Tin Pot Trophy, Mickey Mouse, what have they won? Let's just repeat what they're saying and create that same outrage. But we're laughing at you. Real football fans are sitting back and they're laughing, and it's a case of this. I'm not even going to name them because I'm not starting beefs, but I've seen people on their own channels do 10-minute rant videos when they've lost this final, then say the other day they don't care about this final. It's laughable. And I know the Football Terrace community don't follow and hang on every word of people like this, but it's just shameless, because then when you win it, what happens is you get attacked in the same way by more mindless dullards, and then you cry that they're not giving it credit.